Discover South Korea. Make sure to follow along over the next few months as we discuss the itinerary that EF Tours has laid out for their Discover South Korea trip. If you are a teacher, parent, or student considering a trip to South Korea, I hope this series gives you a better idea of the things we did and the food we ate. I'm Mike Dalton, and this is Dalton's Detours. After months of planning, Zoom calls, filling out forms, making sure all the payments are done on time, we had to focus on the first part of the trip, the 14-hour flight. As an EF leader, often the airports are the most daunting task. Once you arrive at your destination, the tour director organizes most things for you, but in the airports, you need to work with the airlines if there are any problems. Thankfully this year, everything went well. We headed out to Cincinnati Airport at 6 a.m. to go to Minneapolis to catch our long-haul flight. I made sure in the weeks prior to emphasize the meeting time and place, and we met 2 hours in advance, which was plenty of time since Cincinnati is a fairly small airport. I had prepared the students and adults for the 14-hour flight. I sent them articles, YouTube video links, and anything like that that would help them to get an idea of what to bring on the flight and how to mentally handle it. Because at this point, you are traveling, you are not on vacation. Needless to say, it was a very tough flight. 14 hours in the air is something until you've experienced it, you really don't know how difficult that actually is. So it was tough for sure, but between the 3 meals and the entertainment system provided, we survived. More importantly, we were on time. We arrived in Incheon Airport outside of Seoul around 3:30 p.m. It took us around an hour or less to get through passport check, collect luggage, and go through customs. Our tour director, Jenny, was waiting for us on the other side. We had exchanged our numbers on WhatsApp, and we were in communication once we got off the plane. We then had to meet our other group joining us from Chicago, and all 42 of us were going to head to the hotel. It is about an hour bus ride from the airport to Seoul. Everyone was exhausted. Our only itinerary for that day was to eat dinner, check into the hotel, and sleep. About 40 minutes into our journey, we stopped at a Korean barbecue spot for dinner. This was a good chance for some interaction among all 42 people, and it was our first real experience so far on the trip. That meal set the tone for our Korean food experience. It was interactive, tons of small plates of food, and much of the cooking was done right in front of us. I knew we were in for a culinary adventure at that point. After stuffing ourselves with food, and now we're even more exhausted, we headed to the hotel. We were only in this hotel one night, and we were going to Busan the next morning on the bullet train. However, we will be staying in the same hotel when we get back to Seoul, and I'll discuss more about that hotel in a later video. With our bellies full and delirium setting in, everyone headed to their rooms to get some long-awaited sleep. Most people were probably lights out by 9 p.m., and we had an early wake-up call the next morning so we could catch the train. Your first day on this trip in Korea is very quick, very exhausting. You will have some jet lag. The good news is, because of the way you arrive later, you will get a really good night's sleep, at least that first night. It's a fairly quick pace to start this trip. You know, you're flying all night, one night in Seoul, one night in Busan, and then the pace slows down. I actually kind of prefer that because I would rather pace be quick early, and then the last 2 cities, we were 2 nights, 3 nights in hotels. So it was a little bit of a slower pace at the end. So at this stage in the trip, everybody seems happy. We're on time, we're full, and now we get to go to sleep. This is Dalton's Detours.
여기는 달튼 위 우회로입니다.